Hello and welcome to Lantern Lane Stories. Tonight's story is Rumi and the Island of Pelican. The sun was turning orange over San Francisco Bay. A young brown pelican named Rumi flew beside her grandmother, their wings catching the warm wind. "There," said grandmother, pointing with her long beak. "Your island, see how the lighthouse stands tall?" Rumi had never been this close before. The island rose dark and rocky from the blue-green water. Seagulls wheeled above. The air smelled of salt and fish, cold and clean. "But grandmother, why do they call it the Rock?" asked Rumi. Her voice was small, curious. Grandmother's eyes crinkled. "Because that is what it looks like now, but that is not its real name, not the old name. Come, let me show you." They circled lower. The water grew choppy. Rumi could see the fortress walls, the lighthouse beam turning slowly, tourists on a ferry below. Grandmother landed on a high rocky edge. Rumi landed beside her, breathing hard from the flight. The city lights were beginning to glow. Everything was turning soft, turning quiet. "Long, long ago," began grandmother, "this island belonged only to us. Not to rocks, not to stone buildings, to us, to pelicans." Rumi nestled close. The wind was cool now. She could hear the water lapping below. "When your great-great-great-grandmother was young," grandmother continued, "a Spanish ship sailed into this bay. The captain's name was Juan de Ayala. He had never seen our bay before." "Was he lost?" asked Rumi. "No, he was exploring, mapping new land for his king." Grandmother pointed her beak toward the island. "And when he saw this island, he did not see a rock." "What did he see?" Rumi's eyes were wide. "He saw us, thousands of us. Pelicans everywhere, brown pelicans diving for fish, building nests, calling to each other. The island was alive with our wings." Rumi imagined it, thousands of pelicans, the island dark with them. So Captain Ayala looked at his map. He looked at the island, and he wrote a name in Spanish. Grandmother paused. She wanted Rumi to listen carefully. He wrote La Isla de los Alcatraces. "What does that mean?" asked Rumi. "It means the island of pelicans," said grandmother softly. "Your island, named for us because of us." Rumi stood very still. Her island had her own kind in its name. "That was in the year 1775, said grandmother. 250 winters ago. The lighthouse beam swept across them. Then darkness, then light again." "But I do not understand," said Rumi. "If it was the island of pelicans, where are all the pelicans now? Where are the thousands?" Grandmother was quiet for a long moment. She looked out at the dark water. "The island changed," she said finally. "People came, first soldiers, they built a fortress. Then they changed it again into a prison where they kept people locked away." Why Rumi did not understand prison. She had never been locked away. "That is what people do sometimes," said grandmother. "They change places, they build buildings. They forget what the island was before." "But what about the pelicans?" "Many of us had to leave. The island was not safe anymore, not quiet, not full of nests and eggs. And in those years, men used a poison called DDT. It made our egg shells so thin they broke. Many pelicans became very sick. We nearly disappeared." Rumi shivered against her grandmother. "The island was called Evil Island by some people then," said grandmother. "But it was not the island that was evil. The island was sad, and we were far away, scattered across other waters trying to survive." "How long were we gone?" asked Rumi. "Many, many winters. Longer than you have lived, longer than your mother lived." The city lights reflected on the water. Far away, a foghorn called once, then again. "But grandmother," said Rumi, "you said this was my island. You brought me here. So we came back." Grandmother's eyes grew warm, almost like she was smiling with her whole face. "Yes, little one, we came back in 1963. The prison closed. The people left. The island was empty again. Slowly, the poison stopped hurting us. Scientists and good people helped. Laws were made to protect us. And we came home. We came home. Grandmother gestured with her wing toward the dark island. Pelicans like your mother and father came back. They built nests where your ancestors built nests. We fish in these same waters. The island remembered us, and we remembered the island. Rumi looked at the fortress, the lighthouse. Even in darkness, she could see them. The people who visit now, they come to see the island. They see the old buildings and the history. But if they are quiet enough and they look carefully, they might see us too. A pelican flying past the lighthouse. A pelican diving for fish where we have always dived. Do they know? Asked Rumi. Do they know this is the island of pelicans? Some do. If they know the real story, the one Captain Ayala wrote down in 1775, Grandmother touched her wing gently to Rumi's head. The story that says this island was named for us because we were here first, because we belonged here before any fortress, before any late moon. Below them, the water was dark and gentle. The cold made Rumi sleepy. Will I have babies here someday? She asked. Perhaps, said Grandmother, if you wish. This is your island. It always was. We just had to remember. They settled together on the rock, warm against the cool night. The lighthouse beams swept past them again and again, like it was saying hello to old friends. The city lights blurred in Rumi's eyes. She could not stay awake. She thought about Captain Ayala, seeing the island thick with pelicans. She thought about all those ancestors resting on these same rocks. She thought about the poison that had hurt them and the good people who had helped them heal. She thought about her mother and father returning to build nests. She thought about the lighthouse, still shining after more than 100 years, still calling to pelicans and ships and stars. And she thought about her name, Rumi, which means flow, means river. A name that sounded like water moving, like a pelican diving, like home? Grandmother, she murmured, her voice soft as feathers. I am so sleepy. I know, little one. Grandmother's voice was far away and close at once. The wind carried the smell of salt and kelp. Somewhere in the bay, a fish jumped. Another pelican called, far off, and then the sound faded into the night. Rumi's eyes closed. The city lights dimmed. The water grew still. The lighthouse kept its patient watch. And so, San Francisco also slowly fell asleep. Good night.